So I've literally just arrived at the Melbourne Exhibition Convention Centre for VidCon. It is about 8:45 and I know I sound terrible. That's because I've been sick with a cold for the past 3 days. Well, no, chest infection. I've had a chest infection that's kept me up, so I look pale, I look awful. I only really have makeup on to make me look a little less dead. That's it. So let's go in and get my registration done because I couldn't do it yesterday because I was coughing up everything from my lungs. Hi.
All right, let's get you all checked in.
Where are you going?
Beautiful, Laura.
Yep.
All right, excited for VidCon?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so this is your access badge, so
Yep.
it does get you into the convention both today and tomorrow.
Yep.
Very important to bring it both days.
Yep.
Don't lose it or damage it. We can't replace it
Yep.
for any reason. We recommend writing first name, last name, or first name, channel name
Yep.
on the back. So if it is handed in, we can return it to you. But if you've got any questions
Yep.
throughout the week, you can ask anybody in the pink t-shirt
Yep.
with the yellow or black badge. We'll be
Yep.
able to help you out. And we'll give you this one, which is all the details about
Yep.
everything that's happening throughout
Yep.
the weekend, how to get into places, where you can go, where you can't go, and maps.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank
Have
you.
a great weekend.
You too.
Bye.
First person I've run into.
Hi.
Dangers of wearing glasses.
Yes, dangers of
First person I met right after getting my badge.
Yes. Are you excited?
Yes, of course.
Cool.
I mean, I've been sick for like 3 days, but there's no way I was missing VidCon.
Yeah.
There's no way. Not happening.
Absolutely.
No. I finally got it. I got it. I wrote my name on it. Look, it's all mine. Now I'm off to try and find some friends.
Lewis, nice to meet you.
Hello.
Everybody's got to do the spin move too.
Of course. You have to.
So you have to fight up an American thing. At the same time, everybody say woo woo. 3, 2, 1. Woo! I don't want to YouTube anymore. I'm done. Wait. Tomorrow. You don't know because of all the Jolly Ranchers. I don't know. Yes, Jolly Ranchers. Sorry for the crotch shot, everybody. It was not meant to be anyway.
Just heading to the main stage now. My voice is almost non-existent and the day has barely started. And I caught that graceful moment on tape. I almost fell over flat on my face. That's fun. So I'm heading down to the main stage to meet my friend Declan. I found him. Yay! We're waiting for the Welcome to Country main stage performance, and we should see Hank and an Indigenous elder, which should be fun.
I missed it. I'm Ian Hunter, a member of the Wurundjeri people, the traditional owners of Melbourne. I suppose to start off with what we all refer to as a didgeridoo. Well, there's no such word in any Aboriginal language. And amazingly, my ancestral people, the people from Melbourne, didn't have them. So I intentionally use it as a form of entertainment. I've only just came into the modern world. All of my old DVDs, now my brother has to try and put them on one of those little things, a twig or something. That's it, yeah, one of those, yeah. You've ever seen a koala with a collar? That's because they live like this. Welcome to Melbourne, especially our international guests. The best place in the world.
Yes.
It's got to be because my ancestral people have been here for, well, a lot of people have been 60,000 years. So welcome on behalf of the Rotary people and welcome on behalf of all my family as well to, as I say, the greatest place in the world. What would you get for a number? You can really welcome. Bye.
much, Ian. That was really wonderful. It's really nice to consider our place, our space, and not just location, but in the spectrum of time. So that was wonderful. I've never heard Didgeridoo play well. Thanks for being in this big room right now. Hi. I'm so excited to be doing this. I'm so excited to be upside down here on the bottom. And I'm not falling off or anything. Gravity works. Well, it's a big country. I'm gonna get to Canberra, jeez. But I was gonna start to see if there's anybody from Perth. What? I mean, I came from Montana, so that's a long way. Yeah, I'm just astounded. It's a beautiful place. It's been really wonderful. I've been being steeped in the local culture. People are trying to acquire a VB for me so that I can appreciate what it's like to be Australian. This morning I had a brekkie of 2 Tim Tams because it was all that was in my room. Yesterday someone said, "Do you want some brekkie?" And I was like, "That's definitely not a thing." You guys just don't like words. You're like, I need less word. There's too much word here. And we just end in an E noise. And I'm like, so you call it football? Because it's Australian versus football, so we call it American. And they're like, no, footy. Footy. We can't say football. That takes forever. We're Australian. Thank you so much. It's really exciting. I've got a lot of cool things that I'm doing. I'm stressed out, but I'm very happy. I've already seen a lot of the people that you're excited to see, and I was very excited to see them. I just want to say thank you so much for caring about this community, for being intentional in what you love, and also really enthusiastic about what you love. That's what this is really all about, and we get some chance to talk about the things that makes this stuff special, to be excited about it, to think about it. And to really sort of let it into our hearts. That's what VidCon's all about for me, and I'm so happy that it's about that for other people too. And I'm so happy to be here, and there's so much enthusiasm in this community in Australia. You guys really have welcomed this and me to your place, and I feel wonderful. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, am I being in the vlog? Hello!
I found more people. My voice is dead. And we're going to find more people at the Creators Lounge.
Yep.
We found Andrew.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm from Declan too. Yes.
Oh my god, I think you were wearing it the first time I met you.
With my channel art on.
Yes.
I'm going to find a cloakroom so I can get rid of this coat because it's too damn, it's cold out there and warm in here.
And here we have Mitch, the natural showboater in his natural environment. Oh look, it's Minto00.
Subscribe to LittleDreamer3. That's your name, right?
It's Minto00. It's Lennon! It's Lennon!
I've been tuning into people's vlogs. Instead of subscribe to this person.
Weird head.
For you.
I got a chest infection.
Of course.
So my voice is
just
gone.
in time for
VidCon? Yeah.
VidCon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Hello, are you vlogging this right now?
So what's hello?
Subscribe to LittleDreamer3. If you haven't done it yet,
Okay, yes.
and give you a hug.
Oh, I missed you! Oh my god, it's been
It's how are you? Because like, she had head down, I saw the glass around here, I'm like, oh my god, So yeah.
Hannah!
Hi!
Hannah! Completely
I
battery.
feel so sorry for you.
Your batteries express how I feel.
I'm fucking jet lagged, so this is the reflection of that.
Jet lag? I've had 2 nights without sleep because of coughing. So yeah.
Would you like a brownie?
Yes. So we're all heading off to our separate panels. I'm going to the one on building and maintaining your community. Oh yay! I've got a friend! Yay! Yay! I thought no one else would go to that one with me.
I just want to say hi to Dee.
I think that carries through, and I think people sort of feel your presence, as it were. So yeah, it's interesting. So I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on specific?
So I posted months ago that I wanted this book called Little Miss Hugs. And could someone buy me this because I'm poor and don't have money. And this guy over here said he'd give it to me at Vidcon, and I didn't think he actually would. But look, he did. He actually did. He got it. I just spotted Matt, so I need to go and say hi because I'm obnoxious and annoying.
Oh, hello. Hey Laura, how you doing?
I literally just said I saw Matt and I needed to come over and say hi because I'm obnoxious and annoying.
Yeah, well I mean, I am too, so that's fine.
Yeah. So I started my career in improv comedy and kind of the traditional world of entertainment, and that comedy is a field dominated mostly by men, and so I didn't realize that I was kind of like a minority in that industry until I started getting a lot of questions from people being like, what's it like being a female in the comedy world? Females are so trendy right now in the comedy world. And I was like, well, I've been this my whole life. So happy that we're trendy, I guess. But and this is when like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler were really taking off. And so it was kind of confusing in a way because I always saw myself as a person in comedy rather than a female in comedy and having to assert myself that much more. But with the kind of lack of representation of females in comedy, it made me feel more empowered that there's so many heterosexual males in comedy that being a female actually gave me an advantage.
She came, she's wearing the most beautiful sweatshirt of all time. Yeah, what a fashion icon. People keep asking me, like, what don't you know? I'm just going, perfect, you're perfect. Yeah, you're perfect. Yeah, so I can't believe I just got Grace HELBIG in a video of mine. Can't believe that just happened. So now I'm heading over to the expo because I've got a little bit of free time and I kind of want to see what that's like. So second time in my life I have to empty almost everything out of my bag in order to find my keys.
I felt like I needed to give back because it was something that was there for me in the time that like not the best time. So I felt like doing YouTube videos was like I could do the exact same thing that people that I looked up who are here as feature creators as well that I watched in high school, and I felt to give back to the community is something that is very important. Just because it's like labels and all those kind of things like that, so you don't have to let them stick and make them be entirely you. Like you get to choose who you are at the end of the day, and that's what important.
My staircase, you can't use it. You just have to jump down. It's mine. And even the first 2 days before the event started, I've had a really great time in the city, and talked to a lot of creators, have a lot of really interesting thoughts, and really got my mind juices going, which is all I really want in life. You know, I feel like when we first decided we were going to do an event in Australia, it was a big thing to chew off for us, and that it was pretty scary. And in the end, we decided to do it, and it was a risk, and you have made that risk super worthwhile. Thank you for having faith in us. It's really cool. Sydney's like a blockbuster movie, and Melbourne's like a good book.
Melbourne's better.
I don't really know what that means. I've never read this. The message that I wanted to send to them, which I did it in a different way than this, was like, what are you thinking? Like, what are you thinking? What are you doing? What? Why? Why are you like letting us build a future without you? Please come help build up the creators of tomorrow. See that as legitimate, because otherwise we're just going to figure this out and you're not going to be a part of it. But now, like, having had a bunch of conversations, thinking about what I'm going to talk about on this stage, I sort of started to feel like, oh, I'm a bit of a hypocrite. Because also, what am I thinking? Why are we doing this? This is a really weird, hard thing to be putting so much creative energy into. And also, how do we even think that we can take on, like, media, this giant, epic, huge thing, we can be a part of that? And maybe that's one good reason to do it, just because it maybe seems like you can't. How do we make people do stuff with our content? Whether that's just laugh, or whether it's subscribe, or whether it's become part of our communities. So that's really important. And it's also sort of the same thing as saying, like, why do I like stuff? People like you. It doesn't matter how weird you are. Weird is apparently very good if you're how-to basic, like you could just be very strange. Like, there's nothing weirder than that, and it's very popular. So like, you can't be too weird to make content for someone else. And that is the other, I think, less talked about key to like finding both success and also kind of happiness and satisfaction. And some people are like, never be satisfied. And yeah, okay, there's a good fuel behind that, but also, oh God, being satisfied would be so great, right? Please, be satisfied. That's like, different people have different goals, but like I would love satisfaction. And I can't get none. The joy of just making stuff, because you love doing it, you love dedicating yourself and sitting in a chair for a long time and your brain is stuck on this one thing and you're doing it and at the end you've done it and that's a wonderful feeling. Feeling like you're part of something bigger than you. That's great. I love that. Feeling like you're making someone else happy, making them smile, building a community, all good reasons, not the only good reasons. Winning, getting ahead of other people, regardless of whether you even like them or not, just winning, climbing up the mountain that doesn't have a top. Not necessarily a good motivation, but certainly one for me sometimes, and for a lot of people. Narcissism. I want people to look at me, because I think that I'm special. It's there. You don't know if you don't check. You don't know why you're making things until you check in. Time limit exceeded. Ha! I run this conference. I've only got like 4 pages left. I do think that thinking about like why you are doing this, and I think that like no shame, ask it and answer it as honestly as you can. Is it to make an impression? Is it to make money? Is it influence? Is it attention? Is it changing the world? Is it joy? Like all of these things, don't turn away from them, don't be afraid of them. I've dedicated so much of my life to it, and if that was all wrong, then I wasted all that time. No, you didn't. 2 reasons. 1, anytime you're creating, you are succeeding in a way. You are making stuff, and that is wonderful in itself. You're growing as a person, you're making stuff for people. And second, like, if you're doing something that ultimately isn't servicing the good parts of you, or it isn't servicing actually what you want to get done, you want to stop now. Like, it's bad to do that for a year, it's worse to do that for 2 years. Like, just because you've been acting unhealthy is not a good reason to keep acting unhealthy. Though, I do love Tim Tams. And I would like to ask you all to do a thing, which is to maybe sometime when you get a free moment at this event, I know there aren't a lot of those, to write it down, It's not gonna fit in a tweet, but like maybe write it in your notes, or maybe post a little thing on Medium, and then if you can, just share that. And if you don't want to it to influence like your social stream, it doesn't fit with whatever your regular social stream is, create a little throwaway Twitter account to post. But I think that it's a really good idea to let people know what you're thinking about and what's motivating you. Like think about it, write it down, take a screenshot of your notes, post it on Twitter, use a hashtag like Vidcon Australia, Vidcon US, and then another hashtag like why I make stuff. Hashtag why I make stuff. And post that, and look at what other people are posting. Look what other people are saying. Look at and think about what you're saying, and maybe find some other people who might have similar motivations to you and talk to them, connect with them, because I'm going to say this, even though I probably shouldn't, because I think all year about how to provide value at this conference, but I know for a fact that the most valuable thing in this room is you. So like VidCon's value is you, so don't let that go by, because I know that I could not have done this if I didn't have my brother to talk to all the time about like crises, economic crises, existential crises, creative crises. It's so wonderful to have a guy, smart and passionate guy like my brother to talk to about that stuff. Do your best to find people to work that stuff out with, whether that's people in your life that you love or fellow creators that you're connecting with. And I hope that VidCon can be a part of that connection, because I do not know anybody who does this alone. Thank you very much.
I had to upload covers onto my dance channel, singing covers, and everyone was like, nah. But now that it's on this boy band channel, those people are like, oh, we didn't know you could sing, oh, this is great, you know? So I guess what I'm trying to say is that even though people can be a little bit negative, that shouldn't stop you. You should still go ahead. If you love it, go ahead and do it. I just put a little twist on it. Like,
all the creators I know with big audiences have one thing in common. They didn't wait for anyone's permission to upload their videos. They didn't wait for anyone's money. They just worked hard at it. And that big audience rarely comes overnight. They grow over years and years of consistent hard work and effort. There's an example of, I was pitched a series that had already been pitched to a bunch of broadcasters and been turned down. I funded it for the creators to release it themselves, and over a weekend it went gangbusters. It got 1 million views, and within 2 days I had a senior exec from a broadcaster calling me and ready to bang down the door to support them. And this is a broadcaster, an executive who'd already been pitched the show, and the difference was the audience. Once he'd seen that it had an audience, it just absolutely got him over the line. But don't get me wrong, people still have their own opinions, unfortunately. People aren't so entirely superficial that they'll be purely swayed by metrics. You have to have some substance to back it up, but you're all making good videos with substance, right? 2, 3 people are.
This next song is an original song, and it's called Save Me. I wrote it with a friend, and it's about internal struggle, which I feel like a lot of people can relate to. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. Doesn't really have to be this way. Things often aren't what people say. Change isn't always good. Is there something that I misunderstood? There was a time I wouldn't turn away, but now that feels like yesterday. Oh, it shouldn't be this hard. Can someone please take me back to the start? 'Cause I know I'm the only one that can save me. I can't be the one that's crazy. I'm constantly compromised. I'm misguided by lies. Nobody can save me if I cannot change me, and nobody can save me, and nobody can save me.
We get lazy. We want to just label people. We want to label them by race. We want to label them by gender. We want to label them by sexuality. And it's just a way to kind of like easily decipher who people are, right? We don't really actually have to think about them. We don't really have to take the time to get to know them as people. And I think it's messed up. And I was thinking about this last night. I was watching the AFL. Because I'm in Melbourne and that's what we do, right?
Yeah.
So I was watching the AFL and I was like, can you imagine what it would be like if the players are like playing the game and they're trying to score a goal and they have to like stop and explain to people the rules of the game, who they are, what role they're playing, what like their job is in trying to get the goal. Like they don't do that. Like Joel Selwood, the captain of Geelong, is not standing around explaining his existence to people. He's just focused on doing what he came here to do, which is being in the game and kicking goals. Not as many as I would have liked last night because they lost, but still, you know, that's irrelevant. And anyway, that's kind of how I feel like what it's like as a creator. Like every second that you stop to explain to people what you do, to explain to them the YouTube thing, try and explain all these different roles that we do, that's the second that you could be actually creating shit and kicking goals, which is what you came here to do. Because at the end of the day, when you're kicking goals, that's all people see. Like they're not going to ask you those questions, they're not going to worry about that. They're just going to like see the goal and they want to jump on that.
We've just gotten out of the creative keynote, which was amazing. We were like this close to hate green. So close. And I filmed so much, I actually finished a SIM card in it. So that's like 80 minutes worth of footage. Yeah, that's a lot of footage. And I have no idea if we'll be able to do this, but this is the creator reception, which is basically a gigantic meet and greet. And I just done the person I was looking for. I've been trying to spot you all day.
I'm here.
I know.
Okay, it's nice meeting you. Come to the side. Hi.
Hi, I'm Laura.
Hi, Laura. I'm Michael.
Hi. Oh, God.
Where are you from?
Melbourne.
Right here.
Yeah, I live about 30 minutes north.
You want to know a secret? Don't tell anyone. I think I like Melbourne more than I like Sydney.
As you should. Melbourne is better. It's just better.
It's just more my speed, I think.
There, that's true. Then CBD, you can't get lost. You turn the same direction like 4 times you're back where you started.
Yeah.
Footage. I just met my first standing person. Does this mean I'm a real YouTuber now?
Yes, it does.
Yay! That was way louder than I anticipated.
Yeah.
She was like, my teenagers are here to hang out with other teenagers to see these people who I've never even heard of before. And I was just like, yep. That's the internet is now. That's welcome to the internet. Yeah, I'm exhausted. I used to be doing looking around. Yeah.
And the con is almost over.
But I know that I need to